DTLF back on the post-game recap, baby, as the Lakers make us proud. They make this surge in the second half, and they come back. Round of applause, baby. Round of applause. We cap off this beautiful night with a dub for your boy, man. I couldn't be happier. Now, listen, sloppy, tons of mistakes. You read the title right. I still feel like Westbrook and Coach got to go. I mean, that adjustment was failed to be made all the way till overtime. You can't even throw in Westbrook with 9-point lead because there's nothing he can do. He can't shoot. The crowd started booing his every shot, and he came to the pressure. He's not prime time, guys. Unfortunately, he's not for Staples Center. I would trade him because he's really holding us back. You see the potential. Every time he's off the court, we skyrocket. When he's on the court, minus 15 plus. I'm sure it was minus 15 plus. But all in all, man, before I even get it started, I have to say this video is sponsored by Prize Picks, okay? And it's the best daily fantasy app out there, man. Check it out. Use promo code DTLF to get 100% match back. But we got to get back to the game. The Lakers almost blew this game, guys. We missed free throws. We did everything possible. The rotations was off. We waited to bring back AD within 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. The stupid routine that kills momentum when we were playing great in that third quarter, guys. We should have smacked them after that third quarter. But what happened? We let him back in again. We let him back into the game again because Frank Vogel refuses to just sit Russ. And he finally did. He finally sat Russ, but it didn't take all the way up until overtime. And that was the end of the game. As soon as he sat Russ, we won the game. All right, because better spacing. Obviously, nobody's afraid to shoot out there outside of Russell Westbrook. AD was a phenomenal beast. Malik Monk, I told you guys he needed to step up. I told you at the half. I love Malik Monk. I will never slander him. I told you guys why. He's a killer. He stepped up in the second half, man. And I'm talking about big bucket Monk. All right, this guy stepped up, and he was a huge difference maker, hitting clutch bucket after clutch bucket. He ended up with 29 points. Phenomenal, man. 11 for 20, over 50% shooting. 29 for LeBron James. King James is back. I'm so glad to have him. I told you this was a win since we got LeBron because he's a closer, right? He's the missing ingredient, what we were missing. King James, 29 points, 10 assists, 13 rebounds. And did he get a block as well? I think he got a block, but they didn't count it. Whatever. It was a foul. Most impressively, though, Anthony Davis continues to be a paint beast. He's the Loch Ness monster in the paint. 28 points, 17 rebounds, 4 blocks, 3 steals, filling up the box score. If y'all picked them up on fantasy, y'all are very happy owners right now. My boy said, pack Russ up. Big three, Bron, AD, and Monk. I've been saying this for the longest. Monk should have never went to the bench. That is clearly our big three, brother. You're absolutely right. Thanks for the donation. And, it's almost embarrassing. I almost feel bad for Westbrook. If he wasn't cocky and he didn't have an ego, I will feel bad for him. But he needs to take a slice of this humble pie because in his mind, he thinks he's the greatest the point guard to grace Earth. He takes zero accountability. He comes in and stinks it up night in and night out, and he just can't get his shit together, man. It's about time that somebody gives him a reality check, and that's what Staples Center did tonight. He's never felt that from a crowd, ever, at least not from a home crowd. His hometown, that's got to sting. I almost felt bad for him, except I don't because his ego continues to get in the way. Shout out to Joseph. Thanks for the cash app, bro. He said, for honestly, AD and Bron, enough Russ needs to go. AD and Bron, enough Russ needs to go. I agree, bro. Those are clearly our two superstars. And as I was talking with some folks on Twitter, we play better when Russ is off because we surround LeBron with shooters and playmakers. And Anthony Davis, the spacing becomes better. I think Austin Reeves and Monk should start. I know Austin Reeves obviously didn't have a great shooting night, but I still trust him way more than Russell Westbrook at making decisions on the court, believe it or not. I trust the rookie over Russ. That's kind of sad. My boy said, Voice of Reason said, go James, Malik Monk, and Lakers beat Westbrook and the Knicks. I like how you did that. I like how you did that because you're right. And like I've been saying, we won in spite of Russell Westbrook. We didn't win because of. We won in spite of. And same thing with Frank. Frank is scared of Russ. Pisses me off, bro. Bench him. He finally benches him in OT. I don't know if y'all noticed, but dude was pouting. He wasn't up and cheering. He stood up when they all stood up, but he was behind the crowd. He should have been front and center, showing his team support. It tells you what he's all about. He's all about Russ. Russ is all about Russ, and that will be the downfall in his career. Steve Scott says, Dan, you notice when the Lakers went on a run in the second half, Russ didn't touch the ball until LeBron gave it to him, and we were down by 5. You know what's crazy is that they don't trust him no more, man. They know. They know that They absolutely know that this guy is holding us back from our potential, man. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that we talk about a player this way and he got booed. It's been years since we booed a player, especially a $44 million player. I've never seen a $44 million liability who coach refuses to bench because of his contract. That's the only explanation. That's the only explanation. Why else would you continue to let this man bring your team down? He brought him in within the 4-minute mark. He shouldn't have brought him in at all, and we wouldn't have went to overtime. It took extra effort from all of our boys to go and get this dub, man. I'm just so happy we got it. But, man, these are really hard to come by nowadays. These are like rarities. All right, it's like winning a lottery ticket at this point, the way we playing, because we're doing everything to lose the game, not to win it. But thank God for those superstars that stepped up, man. LeBron James is that young man. He continues to rumble. So rumble, young man, rumble. He's a killer, man, no matter what the age. He's probably going to be, he's probably going to be killing folks at 90, the way he's going. In the retirement home, he's going to be crossing everybody over and dunking on folks, taking their trays and stuff. Like, come on, bro. LeBron James is one of the GOATs. Appreciate him while he's here. My boy said, the king and the brow. I love it. I love it, man. Thanks for the donation, buddy. Listen, those two right there, if they're on the same page and they're healthy, I said it before and I'll say it again. No matter, in spite of Westbrook or not, nobody wants to see the Lakers in a 7 because of LeBron and Russ. Now, I will say this. We still need to make a deal. I would love to have Julius. I've been saying it. People say, no, they don't want Julius. Some people now do. But I'm telling you this. I know he needs the ball in his hands, but the man is a dog. He's a bully. And I told you guys he was going to go off. I gave you guys that little hint in the pregame with the little fantasy picks. But I'm telling you, Julius Randle would fit perfectly alongside Julius and LeBron. I know the spacing is questionable, but it's already questionable with Russ. I would do Russ and fillers from the Knicks for Julius Randle. And I'd even throw in a second-round pick just to get him if they don't want him. That's the question, though. If I'm the Knicks, I wouldn't do that trade. But I'm saying they've been enamored with Russell Westbrook for a long time. Then they might. By the way, shout out to the Knicks. They look good today. RJ Barrett and Julius was killing, man. Both of those guys. He said, this dude, Westbrook, is 1 for 10, can't space the floor, turnover prone, and plays zero defense. There is no reason he should be closing games. Facts. Tell that to the coach, buddy, because I agree with you, Noel. There's no reason. I don't understand why he was in there. I'm glad they didn't put him in overtime. It's like coach finally learned his lesson. He's like, I put this sucker with 4 minutes left, and he damn near almost lost us the game. He's like, there's no way I can gamble this. It's like he has to go through the mistakes to learn. I would prefer a coach that can foresee these things happening. And I tweeted out during the game, every time we make a run, watch when Westbrook comes back, we'll lose the lead. And it happened every single time, guys, every single time. And I'm just sick of it. I'm glad the crowd let him hear it, because usually I feel sorry for guys like these. This guy's too cocky and too arrogant and too full of himself, not even cheering for the team like he should be, like with full enthusiasm. These little claps ain't fooling nobody, Russ. Stop it. My boy said, crowd was booing. We all know Russ is not primetime anymore. Yes, sir. And I like how you used my second channel's name, Primetime TV, man. I like that little, that little shameless plug. Nice. Guy, I appreciate you, bro. But you're right. Russ has proven that in the big lights, he's basically a turnover machine who goes 1 for 10 and can't put his ego to the side. That's not good. And I'm not even a Russ hater. I cheered for him when he first came here. I gave him 1/3 of the season to get his act together. I was very patient with him, but my patience it wears thin, man. It wears thin. He said, Dan, clean sweep. I made 3 bets with your promo, DTLF, and I didn't lose anything. Hey, that's what I like to hear, John. I want to hear more feel-good stories. So if y'all haven't signed up, check it out, man. You can really win money. My boy just came up. I appreciate you, bro, for posting it because it inspires others. And by the way, second channel, I'm going to have daily prize picks. I think starting tomorrow, I'm going to do my first set. So make sure you subscribe to Primetime TV. It'll be in the home section, right? The home section of my main YouTube channel under featured channels. You'll find it there because it's kind of hard. It's brand new, so we barely got like 500 subs around there. So we're going to get it up. My boy said Monk outscored the Knicks in the third, single-handedly deserves the bag. And that's what I'm scared of, man. If we don't make a trade and we don't clear cap, he might go elsewhere. And that is scary because he did. What was it, like 18-13 in the third? Amazing, man. Malik Monk is a bucket. People actually been hating on him. They've been hating on my boy Malik Monk, talking about he's not coming up big in clutch games. I had to block a couple of idiots for saying that. I'm like, listen, you're not watching all the games, man. You just watch the ones you want. So I'm a diehard just like the rest of y'all, and we watch all the games, and we know Malik Monk has been a bucket, man. He's way overplaying that contract. He's going to get paid. I just hope that we can clear some cap to pay this man, because you're looking at your future starting two guard. Somebody mentioned on my tweets, they said he reminds him a little bit of CJ. Now, I don't know if he has the same handles as CJ, but he's pretty smooth. He reminds me of like a bigger Lou Williams, maybe not the greatest handles, but a way better athleticism at the rim and similar shot creation abilities. I absolutely love what Malik brings to the table, man. He is a keeper. I told you guys in the offseason, whoever picks this kid up is going to be one lucky team, and luckily it was my squad. So, that was a blessing in itself, and we're not going to take him for granted. I really hope he gets paid, man, because he's going to cash out. My boy Arthur, thanks for a donation on Cash App. He said, for the Knicks trade, true or gossip? It's all gossip for now, man, but the trade deadline 5 days ahead, 5 days to go. So let's see what really is true and what isn't. We're going to find out the truth, man. Everything else is up in the air, but trade rumors are going to fly left and right. Y'all want to see me cover more of those? Again, follow me on the second channel. All Laker rumors covered here. Other NBA team rumors like Philly and Brooklyn will be covered elsewhere and the other channel. My boy said, we played crap last 3 minutes, but the fourth quarter, he said, players, amazing defense in the second half. We need to find a way to re-sign Monk. He's a young J.R. Smith, but better. That's also a good comparison. I like that. But the key word, strictly buckets, is but better. You're absolutely right. Malik Monk is a walking, talking bucket. This man was born to get buckets. And I really hope that we do lock him up long-term, because he's only going to get better. That's the thing. He's only 23. People forget that, right? 23-year-old, and he's barely starting to find himself. Think about that. Once he finds himself, it's gonna be scary for the league, because this kid, man, he has borderline all-star potential, man. I've said it from before we got him. I say he's got all-star potential. He just hasn't had the opportunity to shine. And in reality, man, he's been doing this early in the season, and Frank taking him in and out of the starting lineup killed his rhythm. That's why he had a couple poor games. But I'm so happy he's getting the chance now. And I even said it before they announced the starting lineups. Avery Bradley needs to go to the bench. He hasn't been shooting well. Start my boy Monk over him. Young Elder said, Ariza has a pulse. Wow. Hope his heart continues to pump. We need him. Well, I don't mind Trevor Ariza off the bench. I don't like him as a starter. I've said it defensively on rotation. Sometimes he's a bit too slow for the starters. But off the bench, the guy was phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. My boy Victor says, props to Vogel for finally sitting Russ. Bro, it took him damn 2/3 of the season. I just can't give him props for that, brother, because this was obvious. Like, if he didn't sit Russ, I would have probably had to reach through the screen and set Russ myself, man, because it's painful how obvious it is that he's detrimental to this team. It's so painful to see, man. And the fact that it took the coaching staff, 2/3 of the season to muster up the you-know-whats to bench him, and it took overtime on top of that, I'm just like, bro, they can all go with him. All of them can go. We can trade Russ if we get a chance this offseason, hopefully during the trade deadline, but I doubt it. In the offseason, maybe. And then we can get rid of the coaching staff, because, man, they are scared of Russell Westbrook. They don't even want to look at him when they bench him. They're like not trying to look in his direction, because that mean mug, He said Frank needs to trade Russ and make LeBron understand, just like what Bruce Arenas did when he cut it Antonio Brown, despite Tom Brady wanting him on the team. My boy brought out the whole football analogy. I could appreciate that. But Super Bowl Sunday, 1 weekend away, man. So, listen, thanks for the donation, brother. I'll say this. This team got to do something. They can't. We see the potential, right? Everybody sees it clearly. But it shouldn't take overtime to beat the Knicks. And I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. I'm being realistic. If it takes overtime to beat the Knicks, we're going to struggle in the playoffs as currently constructed. Now, maybe the chemistry flows a lot better if we were able to bench Russ indefinitely. Maybe that would help the chemistry, but that's wishful thinking with the way the coaching staff, it took overtime. Oh, my goodness. I'm sick of it. And I can only imagine what he's going to say in the post-game conference, man. I can only imagine. As soon as I get out of here, I'm probably going to throw a fit on Twitter. He's probably going to say something selfish. He better not say nothing about our crowd, because he deserves those boos and he knows it. So, he said this game was very similar to yesterday's game. The only difference was LeBron was here to restore order. Yes, Sal. That's why I felt a million times more confident when, a million times more confident when we heard the news during my pregame that LeBron James was going to make his comeback tonight. So I was like, yo, okay, this is a win. But credit to the Knicks, they weren't rattled, they weren't scared. They brought it to us, man. Julius Randle continues to be a dog. I really don't understand why they don't want him over there. I mean, he's still averaging 18 points and doing work. But like I said, if there's a trade that can be had between Russell, if we have to throw in a second-round pick or two, I'm doing it. I'm doing it personally. He said, done subscribing to your second channel. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, brother. Much love. He said, Dave Lopez, it was like the Hornets. He said, it was like the Hornets game, even down to where we were down 9 all fast. I like the fact that they came back. That's my favorite thing. People want to give up on this team, but I told you guys even at the half, I can't give up on this team. I've seen worse teams than this, believe it or not. Maybe not star power wise, but we were here for D'Angelo Russell and Kobe Bryant's 17-win season. And that one was a pleasure just because of Kobe. But in general, like, we've struggled worse. All right, we're not going to sit here and act like this is the worst season ever. However, for the money we're paying these stars, Russell Westbrook's definitely not even playing up to half of his contract. We complain about Dennis, and he was making what, like 14, 16? And we're complaining about him. Now imagine Russ with 44. This is why we're so hard, man. This is why. He said, hey, Dan, congrats on the sponsor. You deserve it, bro. Everybody go sub to Dan's new channel. Let's get him to 1K subs. Primetime TV. Let's go. Let's get it, baby. Hey, I did that one for you guys, the fans. Y'all been asking for more content, different kinds of content on a separate channel. I did the voting. I counted how many people left the comments and said they wanted it on this channel or on a separate channel. And so we're going to keep this one strictly Lakers, strictly, but everything Lakers, 365 days a year in the offseason, trade rumors, summer league, all that. We staying the same, if not more dedicated due to the sponsor. Shout out to them again. But I do have that side channel that's going to I'm going to be versatile on there, man. Y'all going to be shocked. Y'all going to see a different side of me. It's going to be awesome. So go sub for sure, man. You said channel's already at 503 subscribers. That's what's up. From just starting the channel to get into 503 like that. Now, I will admit, before today, I already had it at 450 because it used to be a different channel, and I switched it up because that one wasn't consistent. But this one's going to be much better. Trust the process. But I appreciate y'all showing love and support, man. He said, how could Westbrook be worse than Dennis? Who could have thought? I don't know, man. I don't know who could have thought, but it is very disappointing. Very, very disappointing that we're stuck with that contract, at least for another season, unless somebody is interested in an expiring contract and they want a veteran just to hold it down for 1 year, then they might trade for him in the offseason. But it's going to be really hard to move him past this trade deadline. That's a fact. Thank you so much, Aaron. I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for the donation, man. Brian, thank you, man. He said, Dan, I don't think anybody will give us anything for Russ but Houston. And at this point, I think Wall gives us a better chance to win than Russ. Now, okay, as bad as Russ has been, let me ask you this, brother. Would you trade that 2027 pick? Now, I'll say this. I'm willing to make an exception if we make it top 15 to 20 protected. But for John Wall, I'm not giving up a first-round pick. I'm sorry. But if it's 15 to 20 protected, then I'll feel a lot better. Because you just never know what 2027 can look like, right? But, I'm willing to do it. He said, Dan, where's your channel link? I don't see it in the community wall, brother. It is under the homepage. Go to the homepage and under featured channels. Just scroll down a little bit. You'll see it. I promise it's there. If not, I'll post the link. I already posted the link in the description of the last video, the pregame. So you can find it there as well. There's many ways to find it, brother. He said, to get Russ, what was that? Not trading the first round pick. Now, I want to, again, I always love listening to what Laker Nation has to say. Since we got 709, I need to see numbers. So that's the best way to read all the comments. But I want to know this, okay? To trade Russell Westbrook, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up, obviously, Russell Westbrook and the first round pick? One for if you're willing to give up the first round pick, or two for only if it's protected. I want to know what the fans think, because I personally think we should protect this pick. All right, if we're gonna trade it, but that's just me. Two for protected, one for who cares, just get Russ off of the team. I'm willing to give up the whole farm, whatever. We'll see. 1 second, 2 seconds, 2. All right, so protected, right? Protected picks. I feel much safer about, because at least even then you can give up a star. and it'll hurt, right? There's been plenty of late first round picks, early second round picks that become stars. But at least a protected pick, man, gives you that sense of security that it's not going to be one of these, prospects oozing and dripping with potential, right? So that's at least gives me, Now 3, if you guys don't want Wall at all, because I want to know who really is against Wall. Like initially, I was completely against Wall because of the injury history, but Russell Westbrook has become so bad that I'm considering everything, man. Give me Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker, even though he looked trash tonight. Like, give me anything for Russ just to get him off of the roster, man. That's how I feel about that right now. For reals, man. 3, all right. So some people don't even want Wall, so it's gonna be mixed emotions, man, in the trade deadline. Some of us will be pleased with whatever they do. Some of us will be really furious, especially if they don't do nothing. And some people are just going to stay objective about the situation and say, okay, let's see what we can do and head into the offseason and then go from there. But see, I'm a diehard that doesn't want to let go of any seasons, especially when we got a prime, end of his prime LeBron James. We got Anthony Davis back playing like bubble AD. By the way, round of applause for AD. And this is why I always try to see the big picture. I told you guys, AD's still a dog. People were trying to trade him for pennies to the dollar. Somebody even said they'll take Jaylen Brown for him straight up. I was like, really? But this is the difference between a fan in the moment and a fan that sees the bigger picture. You got to use your intelligence in these situations. We knew AD. The real smart, intelligent fans knew AD was going to be back to his old self eventually. I kind of figured it was the weight. So I called it a long time ago. Since preseason, he looked kind of a little too slow for me. I'm glad he lost the weight. He looks quick now. He's running circles around bigs. He's hustling. He's attacking the rim, playing inside out, just how we want him. He's not settling for threes no more. You notice the difference? An intelligent superstar will adapt his game to become productive again, and that is what he has done. So kudos to him for not having too much of an ego like Russell Westbrook to adapt his game and keep jacking up threes and doing stupid stuff like he was doing before. And credit to him, man, for humbling himself and just becoming, the old AD we love. So he never went anywhere. He just went through a little struggle. He got the wrong advice to add more weight. His body type isn't for that. So I'm happy that he's back to what he is. Kick-In said, nah, bro, we need Westbrook off the team at all costs, whatever it takes. I appreciate the donation, bro. That is the desperate side of our fanness, right? We just like, get him out, especially when he was getting booed. But I enjoyed him getting booed because this is what happens, right? When you see somebody, who thinks they're the bee's knees, they're walking down the street, pushing the old people out of the way, thinking they're the hot shit. And it's one of those situations where they don't humble themselves until something really bad happens, something really tragic, right? God forbid it. And you don't want to see it. I don't like to see nobody getting booed. But there was a little smirk inside of me that said, okay, this is the first dude that Staples Center, aka Crypto.com arena, has booed in a long time. This has got to sting him. He's a LA native. He probably thought he had a lifetime warranty here in Los Angeles that he would never expire. Nah, bruh. We demand greatness here. All right. We're not New York. We're not going to boo you, for every mistake you make, or we're not Philly. We're not going to turn on you because you don't have a jump shot. But if you don't change your game to benefit the betterment of the team, you will get booed. And that's what happened tonight. And so part of me kind of enjoyed that. Cynically inside of me kind of said, you know what? He needs this. He needs to humble himself. And I'm going to go and watch the press conference and read the body language and all that after this live stream because I want to see what his response is. And I kind of can predict what it is. Remember, I came straight here after the game to talk to you guys, so I haven't seen it. But I think it's going to be some cocky answer, or maybe he might not even have media after the game. I don't know. I feel like he's going to be like, I don't know. I will be shocked if he gives the right answer, which is, you know what, I deserve to be booed. I played like crap, which is what any great player would say. Bottom line, right? Any great player would take accountability and try to get better from it. But nah, man, I feel like, yeah. Like my boy Kevin says, Brody acts like he's bigger than the game. Nah, bruh. You do get a pass just because you from SoCal. You see what I mean? But even us, California, even us LA people, man, we get tired of it. If you ain't repping us the right way, you won't get the pass. So I agree with Kev, but at the same time, I feel like he has, worn out his welcome. And that's a sad thing, to be honest with you, to feel in your own hometown. Imagine returning back at the end of your career to where it all started. You know, UCLA, your hometown. You do great stuff for the community. Because Russ is not a bad dude off the court. I don't hate him at all off the court. Just on the court, I feel like he is, he just doesn't get what it takes to win championships, man. And that's sad. Because if he could put his talent together, we've seen an explosive Russ that's actually very, very serviceable. And this ain't it, man. This ain't that version. So he said, yo, AD out here looking hungry for another championship. He said, I love the passion. We 3 games out of 60. Let's go. And this is why we never give up hope. People were giving up hope on me at the halftime. And I was like, I don't know why, man. My gut tells me somehow we can turn it around. But we do. We most definitely need to make a trade or an acquisition in the buyout market, or both if possible, because there's some holes we still have. For instance, in the paint, Anthony Davis, if we continue playing heavy minutes at center, he will get hurt. We know he's kind of injury prone. I'm not going to call him soft or any names, but he's kind of injury prone. So why not bring another big man, maybe a Willie Cauley-Stein, maybe bring bring somebody who can rim protect and do the dirty work so that AD can operate mainly offensively and then come from the weak side and block shots and play his game at the 4, which he loves. We owe him that much to try to keep him healthy. Same thing with LeBron. You know, we brought Russell Westbrook here to take pressure off of him. Russell Westbrook only puts more pressure. It's like you have to win in spite of the luggage on your back. Russell Westbrook was supposed to be, the lift. He was supposed to be the lift that gave LeBron James extra time to recover his body in between games, that gave LeBron extra games off, and we would be able to get wins. No, siree. All right, Russell Westbrook is the baggage that LeBron James and Anthony Davis have to carry around. So their back's going to get tired eventually, right? So that's the unfortunate part. But, hey, if we can win in spite of him, if the coach can actually muster up some courage to bench this guy late in games, especially when the game matters the most, then we might have something there. But, again, I long for a trade to help these guys in the paint. I long for a trade to help us from the wing perspective, maybe a younger wing. We need to get younger. We have enough Trevor Reeses. We don't need another Paul Millsap, small ball center, small ball power forward. No. What is he, 6'6"? Nah. Go give me somebody with some length on them that can come and block shots and just alter the paint a little bit, because people always come in here and they do stuff, Listen, Jared Allen, get him? Nah, he's not attainable. We have to be realistic, Laker fans, because the unrealistic fans, they give us a bad name. We're throwing out crazy names, and this is why some fans hate us. They think that we think we can trade everybody. But we're not. In reality, Laker fans are super intelligent. It's just we weren't being represented by the right people online, right? But this is why we're here. This is why we have this channel. We got guys like Kevin King. We got a bunch of intelligent people in here to really make, decent suggestions. JaVale McGee's not being traded. The Suns look good, and he looks good there. But remember, JaVale McGee's a regular season player, all right? He'll give you spare minutes in the playoffs. We saw how paper thin he was in the front line in the postseason for us. So I don't even want him back, because where we're really going to need this size is in the postseason, all right? And I love Dwight Howard, but he has lost a little bit of a step. And I hope he can regain his second win come playoff time. Maybe he'll play better. Maybe he'll play harder, because it is the playoffs. And like he said, he wants to bring a parade here. But can I please get a shout out? Shout out to Justin, man. Definitely shout out to Justin. Shout out to all the day ones, man. All the day ones. Shout out to all the day ones. He said, how about Burks, Kemba, Fournier, and for Russell Westbrook and THC in the second round pick? Just to get Russell Westbrook off without giving up that first round pick, I do it. Hurts me a little bit with THC because I still see potential. I know a lot of people have turned on him, but I always see the potential in these players, man. And I promise you he'll shine elsewhere, especially if they're not trying to compete for a championship. He'll shine. But I do agree that anything to get Russell Westbrook off without giving up that first round pick, I do. So I'd do it. I would definitely do it. Hey, Dan, hope they can somehow snatch that Mitchell Robinson kid from the Knicks. That would be a dream come true. You guys remember draft night a couple years back when I really wanted him? I felt like he would be perfect for the Lakers. And back then we needed a center way more than we need now. But, yeah, I liked him since his draft days, man. It's too bad we couldn't snatch him up. He was available, too, on the board, and we passed on him for Mo Wagner. So that was a fail. But it is what it is, man. He said, we need a stretch big and 2, 3, and D wings. That would be nice to have a stretch big, but I think I prioritize a rim protector, my bro. I will. This is one of the few times I agree to disagree with my good boy Kevin. But I mean, I'm not mad at a floor spacer. Imagine if they would have cut Kevin Love, who we wanted earlier in the preseason, who's having a phenomenal year, by the way, with the Cavs. That's somebody I think we would have jumped all over for sure and brought him here for sure. He said Bagley is our best bet in a trade. I would love him. Marvin Bagley would be dope. Who's in favor for giving Marvin Bagley a chance? I think under the right system, he would be really nice. He can block shots, knock down shots, once in a while here and there. And him and AD can be somewhat of a mini terror in the paint. He said Cauley Stein is available. Yeah. Honestly, I don't understand why teams haven't given him a shot. It makes me think that he's going through personal issues, right? That's what it makes me think of. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I need to hear something, though, man. I keep looking at my phone every morning all the way to the night, hoping that we hear about a trade or something. We need something, Rob. Come on, Rob. Father, keep your nickname, man. I really don't want to be calling this dude, Robbie P. Jr., because I don't even like that name. But we need him to show up, all right, before this trade deadline finishes. He said he is 11 million, got to match contracts. Well, I mean, can there be somewhat of a gap, Kevin, since you're the salary cap expert? Can we trade, let's say, THT, and I think, don't we have a trade exception as well? Maybe a trade exception and a second-round pick for Marvin Bagley. I'd do that in a heartbeat because people forget Marvin Bagley was a lottery pick who got selected ahead of Luka Doncic and Trae Young, which tells me what? He has a lot to prove, man. He's got a chip on his shoulder. People already labeled him a bust. He's had injury problems, and he's played for that poor franchise, the Sacramento Kings. A fresh restart with a team like the Lakers. Not a lot of expectations for him here, even though we want him to play good. Obviously, that's the only expectation. But we're not expecting a star, Maybe a star in his role, as a rim protector and hustle guy and maybe hit a couple shots here and there. That'd be great. But I don't know, man. At this point, let's see what we can get done, guys, because I'm feeling the Lakers got to do something for sure. He said Russ comes off the bench compromise. That would be nice. If they brought Russ off the bench, I think he would do so much better. Because let's be honest, we have tried the experiment and it has failed miserably. It exploded in our face. Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Russ don't complement each other, all three of them at the same time well. Okay? Because two of those players need the ball in their hands, LeBron James and Russ. So what this does is if one player has it, the other one's just standing in the corner and becomes irrelevant. Excuse me. But if you bring him off the bench, that changes everything because now he can be a primary ball handler off the bench. And now you get more floor spacing and shooters around LeBron and AD in the starting lineup. So it's a win-win. But again, I don't expect this incompetent coaching staff to make that kind of a switch, man. It's disappointing. I expected a lot more from Frank after that championship. And so far, listen, you guys remember Alex Caruso in the finals, in that final game when we won the championship. What was it, game 6, game 5? And what happened? The next year I said, I expect this man to start from here on out next season. I expect him to make a leap. Frank Vogel really wasn't starting him. He was giving him spotty minutes off the bench, and he couldn't commit to anything. Right? Again, rotation is always wonky. Remember, Montrez last season started off really hot, and eventually he got benched indefinitely, similar to the Dwight Howard treatment. So it's just, again, this coaching staff continues, man. They continue to just disappoint. They should just bench Russ and start another shooter alongside LeBron, Malik Monk, AD, and whoever the other shooter is there with Stanley Johnson. He said, I think we could trade THT and none for Bogdan from the Hawks. What do you think about that trade? Yeah, I would do. Well, I think Kendrick Nunn can give us some very valuable minutes if that's the case. But I mean, if we can get a shooter like Brogdon, that'd be nice. I still prefer a 3-and-D wing though, because I don't think shooting's our problem. Clearly, we got hitters like Malik Monk, Carmelo Anthony off the bench. That's the only thing I got to say about that. I'm not prioritizing shooting, even though, like I just mentioned, if we bench Russ, put another shooter there, yes, makes our starting lineup much more lethal. But I also want somebody who could defend. And even though he's not too shabby of a defender, it's not what comes to mind when I'm thinking about, a 3-and-D guy, And like I said, it's unfortunate other teams get pennies to the dollar type trades. We can't even get our phone answered, but Rob got to, he got to pull a rabbit out of a hat. Do whatever it takes, man, because the last thing you want to do is be known for the GM that wasted LeBron James' final years of his prime, and in order just to make Russell Westbrook happy. Like, no. Trade for Teddy Rozier, Dan. Well, Teddy Rozier is another guard again. You guys are talking. You guys are thinking small. You're thinking Eric Gordon, which I actually like better because he's 3-and-D. You're thinking Teddy Rozier and smaller guards. I want something bigger, man. I want size dominates in the playoffs, and I don't feel like we have enough size yet. I felt in the offseason we were still going to pursue somebody else, and we stopped short, of doing just that. But look, bottom line, guys, is the Lakers have their work cut out for them. We're barely beating teams like the Knicks. So even though this was an impressive comeback, and I'm very proud, and it caps off my night beautifully, I still think we're a trade or two away, and major coaching rotation adjustments, because as we stand right now, there's a lot of question marks still. So on that note, man, I'm going to take the final questions of the night, man. You guys have anything to ask about the sponsorship or about the second channel or about the Laker game? Now's your chance to shine, because I already flapped my gums enough. He said we should pick up Patrick McCall, 6'7", 3-and-D player that is a champion. Not bad. Yeah, somebody like that, maybe an achieving, maybe undername, somebody that's not a mainstream name, but could maybe put in some work and works hard. So I wouldn't mind somebody like that. How did the sponsorship come? Well, I've been reached out by several brands, and I was able to finally come to an agreement with the one I wanted, which was Prize Picks, man. They are really, really dope. People that I've already recommended already winning money, and that's what I love to see. Like I said, I can't get behind anything that I just couldn't, bring to you guys with my head up and proud of it. And that's why Prize Picks and this channel were a perfect affiliation, aka marriage. It just works out well. I know sports, and I love the app because it rewards people who know sports, and you really can, you can make some bank off of it, man, with your entries. So, I wish everybody the best who joins. You guys know what the promo code is, DTLF. If you guys need a link, I will post it. As a matter of fact, it's already in the description. The link is already in the description of this video, so it makes it easier for you. But if you sign up first time, they will match your deposit 100%, all the way up to $100. So you put in 100, you get another 100 to play with. So basically, you'll have 200, to place. He said, "Congrats on your sponsorship, Dan. You deserve it." He said, "You deserve the best. Go Rams, baby." He said, "Glad our Lakers got to win." Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Johnny. What's up, bro? I was hoping to see you one of my day ones, as well as Jarhead and Kevin King, man. We got all the OGs up in here, man. Yeah, man, I got sponsored officially as of last night. I finished the paperwork and made it official, man. So, yeah, your boy's official. Appreciate y'all, man. And for those of you that don't know, man, Prize Picks is really legit. Check them out, all right? I've tried many fantasy websites before, apps or whatever you want to call them, and I've never won as much as I've won in the last 2 weeks with playing their apps. So this is why I got behind them, 100%. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Remember, promo code DTLF. That's probably my proudest moment, is that I never thought I'd have a promo code after my name. That shit just feels official, man. Legit. Yes, sir. 525 subscribers and climbing daily. Yes, if y'all haven't checked out the second channel, again, that was the second part of my announcement today during pregame. Man, it's worth it, guys. You have to go and check it out. Primetime TV. It's under my homepage of this channel. Go ahead and go to my homepage, and then scroll down to and you'll find it right there. You will find it. I promise you guys, you'll find it. Because other than that, if you type it in the search bar, since I'm a relatively new channel with no videos out yet officially, although tomorrow I will, man. Tomorrow I will definitely make a video, my debut video on the second channel. So stay tuned. Unless there's a breaking news trade, and you guys know I prioritize this channel over anything. So I will come here before anything else. But super excited, man. He said, Dan is a legend. 500 subscribers without making a video. Nah, man. I'm not gonna, no cap. I had videos there before, but I deleted them. So some of those subscribers were from the past. But yeah, it's climbing up pretty fast, man. Pretty fast. So make sure you guys get on board for when that channel first starts, because you guys are gonna be the day ones on that one. Lakers are 6-1 in overtime. My boy Kevin King out here cracking the Da Vinci Code, man. 6-1, so that means we should take more games into overtime, huh, Kevin? That's the key. That's the key, man. Nah, but in all serious talk, I'm proud of the Lakers, man. Our boys fought tonight. No matter if it was sloppy in the first half, and my theory of this team being a one-half team or at max a three-quarter team remains. We took the whole first half off. We were down 15, turned it on in the third quarter, and we came all the way back and smack. I wouldn't say smack, but we beat the Knicks in overtime. So my boy said no. He doesn't want the overtime heart attacks. I see you, bro. I see you. He said Lakers, them are bringing James Harden. Nah, man, we don't want him. He's not a fit here. He's another player who needs the ball in his hands. Although he could play off the ball, if you notice what's going on in Brooklyn, he's another stat patter. I've never been a fan of James Harden. I don't think he's a winner. Honestly, him and Joel won't be able to accomplish nothing. They're going to bump heads because James Harden loves his triple doubles as well. He's obviously a much more skilled player than Russell Westbrook at this point of his career. But James Harden is not happy in Brooklyn, not because they're not winning, but because he's not getting his stats like he's used to. And so I don't want him. I despise his style of play. I'm sorry. And I know he's really good, but trust me, you would have to give up a lot to get him anyways. And at his age, he's already past 30. Nah, I'll pass. I will pass. And I know you guys are probably going to say I'm crazy, but I'm telling you right now, he's not a winning player, all right? This is why Brooklyn won't win a championship. I said it when they acquired him. I said they're better off with Kyrie, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, and Kevin Durant. They probably would have had the title last year. But no, they went out and they wanted to get that super team. All right. Similar to our fit with Russell Westbrook, it just doesn't fit. Too many ball handlers, too many people that want the ball, too many yes men, too many it doesn't work, guys. He said, as a Hawks fan, thanks for beating the Knicks. Shout out to the Hawks fans. I'm a big Trae Young fan, by the way, whenever he doesn't play my Lakers. But anyways, guys, I have to go take care of some stuff tonight, man. Thank you guys so much again for all the congratulations and all the, you guys just celebrating this iconic moment for me, man. First official sponsorship, about to open up the second channel. Your boy's blowing up slowly but surely, and none of it, again, will be possible without you guys. So again, thanks for the donations, the likes. Don't forget to use the promo code if you sign up, and definitely subscribe to that second channel because I got content planned for tomorrow. So I hope to see you guys there, man. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your night, man, with this dub. Go Lakers, baby. Let's see what we do. 5 days left and counting, maybe 4 after tonight for the trade deadline. And it's going to be interesting to see if we make a move or if we stand pat. It's going to be very telling for the front office, for me personally. So thank you guys so much again. Have a great night, and I'll see you guys